Meet Timmy. She's a freelance designer in Lagos. Brand identity, social media campaigns, the occasional full rebrand for clients who can afford it. She's good. Clients come back. Her Instagram looks like someone who hasn't figured it out. Kolade is her boyfriend. Works a 9 to 5. Steady salary. The kind of person who opens a spreadsheet for fun and doesn't understand why that's funny. They've been together for a year and a half. He thinks they're building something. She thinks so too. She's just not so sure she can afford to. He came over with a plan, an actual plan. He'd been running the numbers and he turned his phone around to her and said, if we both put 50K a month, by this time next year, we'll have over $1 million between us. She looked at him, his face all lit up, so sure of himself, and she said, 50K? Is that all? Like it was easy, like she had it. He started talking about setting up a standing order. He asked her for her account details, and then, right at that moment, her phone lit up on the cushion right beside her. GT Bank, available balance, 47,203 naira. She turned the phone face down before he could see it, and smiled and said, yeah, let's do it. She said yes. Her balance was 47,000. Rent was due in 6 weeks. She was on a client call the next morning. Steady voice, perfect composure. Thursday, confirmed, looking forward to it. Her phone vibrated on the table. Mr. Bello, the landlord. She declined it without blinking. The call ended. She closed her laptop, picked up her coffee, and then an email came in. Retainer review. Hi, Timmy. After much consideration, we decided to bring our design work in-house. 250,000 naira a month. Gone. She laughed out loud. The kind of laugh that you laugh, but nothing is funny. And she was outside thinking about this when Mr. Bello sent a message. This is the third time I'm calling. She had told him something was coming in. Just that it was coming in 3 days. End of the week, young lady. After that, I'm opening it up. She opened her WhatsApp, found Kolade's chat. She said, hey, I need to tell you something. She read it back and deleted it. In the evening, Kolade opened his laptop and he built something for them. Projection. She assumed he was making 600K. She was like, Kolade, that was 1 month. He said, but you're consistent. You always have, my income is not consistent. Every month is different. He looked at her, really looked, and asked how different. She opened her mouth. Nothing came out. And then, like the universe was watching, her phone buzzed on the table between them. A new project inquiry, 350,000 naira. The relief hit her so fast he could probably read it on her face. She picked up the phone and said, this is exactly what I mean. You see? It comes. It always comes. He didn't look at the phone. He looked at the notification. He looked at her. And quietly said, what if it doesn't come? The question landed somewhere she wasn't ready for. He asked the one question she was never ready to answer. Some time passed, and she went to the ATM, punched in the amount to withdraw, declined, insufficient funds. She pressed it again like the machine was going to change its mind. Declined, insufficient funds. She leaned against the wall, and slowly, without deciding to, she slid down until she was sitting on the floor. Just for a moment, eyes closed, just a moment. Her phone buzzed. It was Kolade. Did you set up the standing? She typed back without getting up, still sorting it out. Later, she was home, but everything felt colder. She was on the kitchen floor with a sleeve of crackers and a cup of water. And there was a knock at the door. It's me. I was in the area. I brought you some pepper soup. You didn't eat properly last night, and I could tell. She had nothing but 2,300 naira. He was holding 4,500 worth of pepper soup. She opened the door. She managed her face. She managed her voice. They sat on the couch and she ate the soup, and everything appeared normal. Everything was completely normal. He asked about her work, and she said, it's going well. He said, don't undersell yourself. And she said, I won't. He left, and then 2 seconds of peace. Then her phone rang. Adeze. Hey, so Kolade called me. He was asking how you were doing. Said something seemed off. She sat down on the floor thinking he was asking my friends. She opened his chat, typed, I haven't been completely honest about, deleted it again. There's something I should tell you, deleted it again. Tried to do a voice note, but no. She didn't send anything. The next day, he said, I want to say something, and I need you to let me finish. Mr. Bello called me last Tuesday. He couldn't reach you, and he had my number from the time we helped him move the fridge. The room got very small. I didn't want you to see me like this, like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm supposed to have it together. That's who I am. I built all of this. I can't even, and he said, quietly cutting through it, all of it, I'm not angry. She looked up. I'm scared for you. Something broke in her. Not the way it breaks in movies, just the quiet way things actually break. She had been holding it in for 4 months. Nobody warned you that the truth sounds like crying. He asked to see the number, not approximately, the actual number. She said, I don't know exactly. You don't know? I'm scared to look. Every time I look, it's worse than I thought. He said one word, look. She picked up the phone, closed her eyes, opened them, opened the app, and then showed him the screen. He said, okay, on rent? 185. When? 4 days. He nodded, took out his own phone, opened something and held it out. Forget the total for a second. What money do you actually have to spend right now? After rent, after the basics. Your real available money. I looked at the screen and said, I've never looked at it like that before. And then you give each portion a job before you spend it. Not what you might earn, what you actually have. Pockets, goals. She said very quietly, more to herself than him, I've been guessing every month for years. Her phone rang on the floor, and both looked at it. It was Mr. Bello. And this time she was calm. The problem was never the money. It was never seeing where it went. 6 weeks ago, she would have seen that number and felt rich. She would have spent half of it before the next job came in. She would have guessed her way through the month and wondered why she was always running short. Now, she opens the app and the numbers make sense. What's hers to spend, rent set aside, and joint savings with Colade growing. Her phone rang, a client, a name she recognized. She picked up and said, yes, I can take that on. My rate is this. The money didn't change, not really. She just finally stopped guessing and started seeing it. Every Naira has a job with Simplify. Download it and try it with your next pay.